Welcome to Supersmart Traveler, where we share our love of travel and history to help you be a super smart traveler. Today our travels take us to Paris, France, to the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is the most visited monument in the world and one could say the symbol of France. Join us today as we look at the Supersmart Traveler tour guide and history of the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower was constructed in 1889 by French engineer Gustave Eiffel as one of the main attractions at that year's World's Fair in Paris. It was built in only 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days, an astonishing rate given the technology at the time. The Eiffel Tower was the tallest building in the world at completion and remained the tallest for 40 years, even though the original plan was to tear it down after 20. The Eiffel Tower again faced the threat of destruction during World War II when plans were made to destroy the tower, but thankfully those plans were not carried out. Today, the Eiffel Tower sees almost 7 million visitors every year. Because of its popularity, some may be surprised that the tower was originally disliked by the majority of Parisians and notable French artists and intellectuals of the time. However, that could not stop the more than 2 million people that toured the tower in its first year. The tower has been open ever since, other than during World War II and the COVID-19 pandemic, and its popularity has only grown. With the sheer number of visitors going to the Eiffel Tower, here are some tips on how to make the most of your experience. First, how does one get to the Eiffel Tower? You should know that there is no one single answer, as there are multiple ways to get there. As a bit of a side note, Paris has a very good metro system and is also a very walkable city, so combining walking with the Metro Pass, you can get anywhere you want very easily. Some of the more popular options for getting to the Eiffel Tower would be the Champ de Mars Tour Eiffel stop on the RERC or the neighboring Bir Hakeim metro station on Line 6. There's also the École Militaire metro station on Line 8 or the Trocadero metro station on Lines 6 and 9. You can't go wrong with any of these stops, but Supersmart Traveler would recommend planning on arriving by one stop and leaving at another so that you can walk around and get different views of the Eiffel Tower. We'll talk a little bit more about these different access points a bit later in the video when we talk about picture locations for the Eiffel Tower. And make sure you stick around because we'll share with you our favorite access point, which wasn't actually listed in the aforementioned most common access points. Now, if going up the Eiffel Tower is in your plans, you should know that it requires a bit of a time commitment, but there are some things you can do to save some time. First, with reservations opening 60 days in advance, reserve an entrance time well beforehand. Second, if you are short on time, you may consider only going up to the second level, where, in our opinion, you have better views of the city and monuments than on the third level. Third, spend your time from top to bottom. Go as high as you're going and then spend time exploring the lower levels on your way down. Fourth, if you are fit and able, anytime you can skip an elevator and use the stairs for the first and second levels, you will save time. Some don't like the prospect of climbing the stairs, but even if you ride the elevators up, you can still take the stairs down and skip the long lines waiting for the elevator to descend. Now for a quick hot take and possible unpopular opinion. If your time is limited in Paris, we would recommend not spending the time to go up the Eiffel Tower unless you've always dreamed of doing so. We think there are better views of Paris, like from Sacré-Cœur or up Notre Dame, and better things you can do with your time. However, even if you don't go up the Eiffel Tower, you should absolutely go to the tower, walk around the base, and get some pictures. Speaking of pictures, people often want to know where to go to get the best pictures of the Eiffel Tower, so here are some of the places Supersmart Traveler would recommend. The Supersmart Traveler favorite place for taking those Instagram-worthy pics of yourself or family with the Eiffel Tower is from Rue de l'Université. You are close enough to the Eiffel Tower that it will be grand in your photos, but it is also on a typical Parisian street with charming cobblestone and Haussmann architecture. If you want to experience a grand reveal of the Eiffel Tower at this location, we would recommend getting off the Pont de l'Alma stop on the RERC, then you walk away from the Seine on Avenue Rapp and take a right on Rue de l'Université. Then follow that road until it dead ends at this amazing view. You will then want to explore around the base with the amazing view looking up at the tower. Spend time walking around the Champ de Mars, which is the grassy park laid out by the Eiffel Tower, as this provides some great views and photo opportunities as well. Then we would recommend crossing the Seine with a pause at the carousel, especially if you are traveling with kids, and heading up the hill to Trocadero and the Palais de Chaillot. This location provides great options for more pictures and views of the Eiffel Tower. Trocadero is also our recommendation for evening views of the Eiffel Tower when you're looking to see the tower sparkle. As you spend your time in Paris, always keep an eye out for the Eiffel Tower. You will see how many great views there are of the tower from around the city, and you may be surprised at how often it comes into view as you turn a corner or peeks over the buildings in the distance. It is easy to see why it has become a symbol of Paris and of France. We hope you enjoyed this video. Just a reminder to like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates so that you too can be a super smart traveler.